first welding job in prison. Well, my first welding job in prison was at the Grimes unit in Newport, Arkansas. I went up for clarification, getting transferred from Pine Bluff unit, and the warden there seen that I had skills in the welding field, and also there was a few people on there from maintenance that said they was building up their crew and they had some new welding to do and they need some good welders. So the guy was like, yeah, I'll take them. So I went to maintenance, and man, let me tell you, that job was cool, but then it also showed me like racism at its like rawest form. Like this guy, oh my goodness, man, this guy right here was evil, man. You know, everybody that met somebody that they was like, man, this dude right here, nah, this man was evil. But needless to say, I can't even say, I don't even remember a time when he was fair. Like honestly, he just did things the way he see fit, and he'll say things, and he didn't care. You know, we inmates, so he didn't care. So they got this new law or this new bill or whatever passed where they had to start putting different lockers inside the beds. So they actually had to cut out a hole inside the bunk and place this locker in, weld it down where you can put a lock inside of it, and you have to put it on either the left or the right side, whichever, you know, depends on how you sleeping in the bunk bed or if it's on the floor. So I was given an opportunity to weld a lot of those bunk storage containers, pretty much storage food container units inside of there, because they was getting rid of the plastic boxes and they was getting rid of the wood boxes that was kind of like a military type box they used to have. You know, they was getting rid of them. And they even made some racks that had the bunks things inside of them. So I ended up repairing some of them too. But at Newport, the way that this facility was built, it was built without that. So they had to add it to the standards of the other units. So I was given that opportunity, and you got to think this unit, I think it had 14, 21 barracks, I think. So that's a lot of racks that we had to go in and do, you know, in different ones. So I got a chance to meet some cool people, but I did a lot of welding though. I did a lot of cutting, and all of my skills came, you know, into play that I learned from B.L.A.C.K. So it was cool, you know. I was actually, he put me over a team and gave like 2 guys to help me, and then it was another group, you know, that went out. So we end up, you know what I mean, going through different barracks, putting them in. I end up meeting some cool people that I actually associate with to this day. And but that was my first job, man, and I can't lie. It was I was using pretty much fabricating, cutting the hole out, and then we was placing the box down, and then we had to put so many welds around it, you know, make sure it wouldn't come out. And then some of the racks was maybe warped or bent. We had to replace them with new metal or, you know, whatever needed to be done. But that was my first actually welding gig, and it was pretty cool, you know. It lasted for a while, so I was able to do a lot of stick welding, and we was using 70-18 and sometimes 60-10, 60-11, you know, whatever the guy had. You know, this guy was a trip. Whatever he had that he could find, you know, they could get, because the state might have cutbacks or whatever, so they'll use whatever. Use this rods, it'll work on that, you know, whatever we can get. So sometime I was using 1/8 inch, sometime I was using 3/32. Sometimes I was using 70-24s. That was 5/32. So it all depends on, you know, like I said, this was a different set of rules. I mean, I no lie, but I can say this: I was made a lead, man, out the door, you know, from doing it, and it was cool because I was able to catch on, and then that's when I gained a lot of respect from a lot of other white welders that was in prison who've been doing it for a while. They seen the way I was doing it. It was like, yeah, I like this guy, you know what I mean? Because it literally, it wasn't a lot of black welders. I mean, especially actually welding in prison, you know what I mean? So it's just like the same thing on the streets, you know what I mean? You don't see a lot of us on certain jobs, you know, they got cliques or whatever. but it was the same way in prison. So, but I gained a lot of respect for them once they seen my work ethics, and then they also taught me some tricks to the trade. So I learned a lot of things from them. So that was my first experience welding in prison. Hold on.